Hey everyone, so a little while ago I saw that Grandpa Roji got Masters with Taliyah Malphite. He also said it was good into Pantheon decks, and I think he said it was good into Shellfolk decks as well, so I wanted to give it a try. That's basically all I see on ladder right now is just like some Pantheon and mainly just Shellfolk decks. So the only thing different from his list and mine is that he runs one less Blue Sentinel and one less Absolver, and he runs two of those 4 mana cards that can destroy a landmark. I think it's because he was playing against a lot of Bandlewood at the time. But the card's not that good in general, and I wasn't playing against like any Bandlewood today, so I had no real reason for that card, and it was also just a really slow card. The kind of cool combo is that you can actually use that card, that you can destroy your own landmark and summon your own Grumpy Rock Bear. So if you destroy the Endless Devouts thing, the sarcophagus, that little landmark that it summons, you end up with a crazy turn play where if this dies on 3, on turn 4 you destroy the sarcophagus landmark to summon it, because it also summons if it's destroyed. And then you get the Grumpy Rock Bear, so you play a 2/4 that gives you a 5/3 Fearsome immediately, and a 5/4. And so it's a pretty crazy play, but again, it's just really slow, and there wasn't enough enemy landmarks to make it worth it, I felt like. So I removed them, and I added in one more Blue Sentinel, just because I wanted to make sure I wasn't dying to like aggro decks and a lot of early game decks. And I also think Absolver is one of the main ways that this deck wins, so I wanted to make sure I had it. But he only runs 2, so maybe it is too much to have 3. Just wanted to let you guys know in case you guys want to remove one again if it is too much, because it is not that good early. But I just wanted to make sure that in a lot of my games I actually do have it. And yeah, so the deck basically revolves around these landmarks. So Taliyah, the first champion in the deck, requires you to summon 5+ landmarks. And then when she levels up, she ends up sending these rocks, 3 of these little rocks that deal 2 damage to something in front of it, like the blocker. And if the blocker is dead or gone, they go straight to face. So once Taliyah levels up, if they don't block it, you literally do 10 damage, because she'll be 4 attack, and then those rocks will do 2 damage each, and there's 3 of them, so it does 6 more damage. But even if they block it, you're still dealing like 2 to 4 damage, which is pretty good. And then because of her ability, it makes her insane with Overwhelm. Like if you put Absolver onto her, she ends up having 8 attack, Overwhelm, and then dealing 6 damage to any blocker, and the damage goes to the Nexus, right, if they don't actually block. So she can do a maximum of 14 damage if you actually put Absolver onto her. It's pretty crazy. And then Malphite requires you to summon 10+ mana of landmarks, which is a bit different but similar at the same time. And then when he levels up, you get this Unstoppable Force. You only get it on attack turns, but it's a 2 mana slow speed spell that stuns the entire enemy board no matter what. I mean, I don't mean no matter what as like it doesn't get denied or anything. I mean like there's no requirement, like it doesn't have to be under a certain attack threshold or something like that. It just stuns their entire board. Then he has quite a bit of attack as well, right? So if you Absolver him, he gets up to like 11 attack, Overwhelm. And so he's a really good target as well. Because usually you stun their whole board, they play one more blocker, and then they can only block one thing, which is usually something big, right? And then you just overwhelm it, and you just do way too much damage. And then one of Herald of the Mages, because it's kind of awkward, I think, to play it with Taliyah, because it's another 5 cost. But it's just really good in this deck, and mainly with Taliyah, obviously. So it gives all your champions everywhere +2/+2 and Overwhelm, so even without Absolver, your Taliyah ends up with 6 attack and Overwhelm, for a potential maximum of 12 damage, but usually they're going to get in around 10 damage, 8 to 10 damage. So just another way for you to win the game on top of Absolver and Malphite spell. And then so a lot of the other cards to support them are just going to be landmarks, obviously. So Ancient Prep, a good cheap little landmark that gives you a blocker later on in the form of a Clockling, but also lets you predict for some of your combo pieces that you need. So Chip really synergizes with landmarks really well. You can actually be pretty aggressive if you get a couple of these chips. Like if you got like an Ancient Prep in the double chip turn, I think that's one of like the craziest openers this deck can do. It's so much pressure because they usually can't get over the 3 health and 3 attack that much early. And so sometimes you can just get in a lot of damage, which makes your endgame super easy. Blue Sentinel is an interesting card. It has a good stat line, so it can usually go 2 for 1. But that can be sometimes awkward because you kind of want this to die. But sometimes you can get blocks early and then just kind of save it till die on like turn 5, I think you want it to die. If it dies on turn 5, then you can play Malphite on 6. Because you get an extra Crest of the Insight, which is a free mana gem for the next round. And if it dies on like turn 3, you could technically play Taliyah 1 round earlier, but that's never really gonna happen. That'd be a really awkward situation, so this card isn't super amazing in the deck. But it does give you another landmark to synergize with both your champions, and it can let you sometimes play Malphite earlier, so it makes sense to include it. But you technically could consider cutting this. Reservarium, just solid landmark that draws 2. It only draws 1 right away, and you have to wait a little bit for the other one. That kind of is almost good because it allows you to copy it sometimes with Taliyah if you want to. Rockhopper is a really good card. Decent stat line even though it can get pinged a lot in this meta. But 3 attack is quite a bit. And the main thing is this Roiling Sands. So Roiling Sands really help to level both your champions. You can also make it really awkward for the enemy. If you play it at the right time and you know they want to develop something important, it can really make it awkward because they usually want to either pass and hope that you attack and then they can develop after the attack, and then you can just pass back and burn their mana. Or they have to play something else instead to like eat the Rolling Sands and then kind of hinders their development. So you can do some kind of cool things with the Rolling Sands. Absolver again is one of the main ways you end the game because once you cast it, if your champion's leveled up, you get the Absolver's Return, which gives you 2+1 as well, but gives you Overwhelm. Endless Devout, actually when it dies, gives you a Sarcophagus, which is a 1-mana landmark that eventually when it pops gives you a 5/3 fearsome unit. My only issue with this is that I really wish they'd buff it and make it so Sarcophagus actually costed more mana. It only costs 1 mana, and that really makes it awkward for your Malphite leveling up, because he requires 10+ mana. I feel like if they were to make it cost more mana, you would never really even notice, right? Like, it wouldn't affect the game at all, except for, like, I guess if you're getting it recalled, you could play it for cheaper, but that's never really going to happen. And it would only really help out Malphite, so I feel like Malphite is definitely not broken or anything, right? So they could help out this deck quite a bit, I feel like, if it was just, they buffed the mana of Sarcophagus a little bit. I mean, they could easily make the landmark cost like 3. I mean, it is summoning a 5/3, right? And then again, it wouldn't do anything except for help out Malphite. I kind of wish they did that, but yeah, for now, it's not the best for leveling up Malphite. It does help you with Taliyah though, and it does eventually give you a good unit. I think the fearsome tag that it comes with is actually pretty good for you late game. So hushes are pretty important right now. There's a lot of elusives. It's also good against big units like in Pantheon decks. Unraveled Earth is a really good way to start turbo leveling your Malphite and even Taliyah. So it draws you 1, which makes the ability a little bit more worth it. And then you get these 2 Rolling Sands, which again can make it really awkward for your opponent and help you get some good trades. Earth Elemental is interesting. It comes down as a 3/5, which isn't amazing, although it does have Overwhelm on it right away. Then once you summon 4+ landmarks, so like in the mid to late game-ish, it ends up being a 6/5. And that's a pretty crazy stat line for 4 mana late game to help you push in the necessary lethal damage you need. And Ground Slam is just good because, I mean, stuns are really good in general, especially in this meta right now against, like I said, like elusives and Pantheon decks. But it also deals 3, so you can also just use it as removal if you need to, because you're obviously going to met the condition where you summon a landmark. Rite of Negation is just kind of good to have one of, and it obviously beats a lot of different spells, really good against Ionia, good protection for your champions. And because a lot of the time you're going all into like a couple of units, and you're getting some of your units like to do a lot of damage individually, it's pretty good to be like make sure that you can stop them from like stunning you, for example. So Salt Spire is one of the main combos of the deck. It's 4 mana, so it's kind of awkward. You kind of have to have a board already before you play it, because you lose a lot of tempo in a way. But in 2 turns, you're going to end up getting this 5/4 Grumpy Rock Bear. But if you summon 4+ landmarks this game, you grant the strongest ally +2/+2. And by the way, this counts as a landmark as well for that condition. So when you play this, you're only going to need 3 other landmarks. And so usually the combo is you play this into Taliyah on the next turn. And then so once this hatches, it ends up making 2 Grumpy Rock Bears. And then one of them gets both the buffs. You end up with a 5/4 and a 9/7. And that 9/7 can be a really good target for Absolver later, right? And it can be really annoying for a lot of decks to have like just a crazy board like that with a lot of stats. I think I already mentioned Herald of the Mages, just another kind of way to make sure you end the game of making your champions that are really big overwhelm. And yeah, that's basically the deck. So I gotta be honest with you guys, and it did not really go well for me playtesting this. He said it was good in the Shellfolk, and I mean maybe I just suck with the deck, but I really did not do that good in the Shellfolk. I think it actually does okay, because you get a lot of big units and then you just overwhelm them, and if they steal like your Absolve or whatever, you don't really care, right? Like, I think the main issue though is that because you run so many ground slams and they're kind of expensive, you can't really get them out of your hand against the Shellfolk decks, I feel like sometimes. And if they ever steal one of these, it really can mess you up, because like you're relying on a couple different units usually to get through a lot of the damage. And so if they just steal your ground slams, it can be really annoying because they're just gonna sit there and use them on you eventually whenever they need to. Kind of the same with hushes. Like if you make a Taliyah overwhelm and you get it all big with Absolver and they just have a hush sitting there that you know they stole from you, it can be a really annoying feeling because they're just holding on to that, and you know, like, okay, whenever I go to buff this card, I literally see the discounted hush that they stole from me in their hand. I mean, that's just the problem with Shellfolk, I guess, but I mean, same with Riot of Negation too. Like if you're gonna try to use a Malphite spell, they can just hold on to your Riot of Negation, you can't even do it. So like Riot of Negation, Ground Slam, and Hush, they steal these, it's really bad for you. But the kind of good news is that pretty much every other card in your deck, you don't even care if they steal. It's mainly just these. So yeah, I mean, do with that what you will. It just, for me, a lot of games they were stealing these and I didn't keep them, so I don't know what else to do about it. It's just really annoying. But yeah, against Pantheon decks, I can see being favored. Like, you have a lot of stuns, you have a lot of big units yourself, and eventually you can stun the whole board with Malphite, so I could definitely see this being favored in the Pantheon, even though I didn't get to fully verify that for myself today. But yeah, from my experience, it's not super favored in the Shellfolk, although technically is possible. I mean, I've seen him do it, and I technically did it today as well. I definitely didn't win like the majority of the games under them. Although, again, to be fair, this deck is not that easy. I mean, landmark decks in general are pretty annoying because a lot of times you're playing things that don't really give you any value immediately. Like, a lot of times you're just playing these cards and you don't like get a board, right? You spend real unit mana and you don't actually get any units sometimes. And so you can kind of be behind in tempo sometimes based on your hand. And it's definitely a trickier deck to play. And so a couple games that I did lose today, they should have been a win if I was more familiar with this deck and maybe even familiar with the enemy decks I was playing. I was playing against a lot of weird Shellfolk variants. So if I was a bit more familiar with the enemy decks and I was more familiar with this deck, I would have actually won a few more games that I just straight up could have played around, but I didn't really understand it at the time since I misplayed. Yeah, so this deck could be a lot more stronger than I think, or that you think. It just might take a little bit of practice to get good with it. Yeah, it's a certainly interesting deck, and it is a pretty cool idea. I like the idea of like Taliyah and Malphite stunning the whole board, and giving Taliyah Overwhelm is super satisfying. And yeah, so just maybe give it a try, and let me know how it goes. But yeah, that's about it. If you guys haven't subscribed already, I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe. Maybe even like the video, everything helps out. If you want to see me play anything in the near future as well, you can leave a comment below. I make a Runeterra video every single day, so the extra ideas are definitely useful. And I hope you guys like it. Thanks. Yay, Zoe Lee. People still play that when everyone is playing Shellfolk. Makes a lot of sense to me. Literally, the entire world is playing Shellfolk with mini morphs, and he's still playing Lee, hoping to get matched up into someone like me. Feels good, man. You also could have skipped that. I mean, none of the options are that good. Like, maybe you should have skipped there. But I figure we only have one Herald, and we have like a hand that might actually be able to get some landmarks going.
Would you look at this place? Gonna catch the sky.
If he plays I, it's gonna feel kind of bad for making this attack, but yeah, okay. Brew. Just going all into the Zoe win con. I kind of want him to tap under deny and like twin if possible. So now we lose to what? Twin and Pale. It's probably just a bad play. We're probably supposed to just develop Salt Spire. But like, if he doesn't have answer to this, it's really good. Like, we win the game. But they just always do, right? Like, they have too many answers. Yeah, we have no other way to ping him. And so we just, yeah, that 3 damage never makes any sense. Like, he's back up to 3 health. Darn, yeah, I should have just done Salt Spire. Save that for like Lee. This turn I copy it, then next turn I have a huge attack going. I'll get another one, but no, it has a spell shield. Yeah, that was the play that was almost never gonna work. I shouldn't have went for it. Just like, cause then now next turn I have to be attacking with a huge threat. Cause these would be both popping, right? So these would be, I played it earlier and duplicated it. I have a 9 something, a 5/4, and a leveled up Taliyah attacking this turn with a bunch of mana and an Absolver leveled up and a stun potentially. So we could like be winning the game this turn. But instead I am a troll.
I told you I would beat you here.
You cheated! I want to read together. We are stronger than stone, faster than the wind.
And that was such a bad play. Like, think about this spot. A 9, like a 9/7, a 5/4. And even when he stuns this, right? We have a 9/7 attacking with overwhelm. Damn.
Gonna catch the sky.
Your attack is obvious.
Can't steer.
Ah, shit.
Breathe in, breathe out.
No, he's gonna level up Zoe. And everything's gonna, for the rest of the game, is gonna, like, see, like, imagine this, it's a, ha!
As the dragon wills. Force is meaningless without skill.
A pleasure to see you, Master. In times of crisis, an aspect descends to herald the reshaping of worlds. And get
So Zoe's already leveled up. I could kill it, but I don't know if it matters.
Our enemies cannot hide.
shit time!
Center your spirit.
Noise.
My feet are far away because I am tall.
You're also very, very sweet.
Okay, so... And I should have just tried to win the game at last turn. Still very annoying, but I still want to have faith we can beat Lee, because fuck Lee. So I guess we'll have to... I think we play Herald. Because even though we have the stun, I think we normally want to develop, so if he does a stun, he does his own stun, then we stun the whole board. And now we have like 2 giant threats, on top of this being able to get Absolver. Like if he stuns right now, then we stun his unit. He doesn't really want to stun right now, I don't think. Yeah, I'm still kind of a noob with this deck. I don't really play it that much, and if I, yeah, and it's my first game. An enemy, okay. I have another palm, which kind of sucks. Oh, it doesn't stun actually Zoe. I forgot. I mean, if he wants to kill Zoe, it's probably fine.
Stop running.
I see every move.
He doesn't block with Zoe, and he just
I
does this
wouldn't
block. I
have
think we
been
can
yours
win.
either.
Absolver makes us go up to. Let's go! Fuck Lee Sin players. But yeah, so this is my first time playing this deck in like fucking, I don't know, like a million years. And my first game of the day. But like, yeah, if I didn't make that misplay, randomly trying to stun that Zoe, like as soon as I did, I realized it makes no fucking sense. He has Pale, he could have Twin, you can't Notify, but yeah, you probably have Pale, you probably have Twin, and it just doesn't make any sense. And if I just went for that landmark play, I could have probably won that turn on just like my next attack, turn 4, whatever it was, turn 5. Would have been, yeah, whatever it was. It would have been like a crazy big attack, and I would have Absolver activated with so much mana, and I probably would have won the game right there, or been way easier. But it's still cool to know that like against a deck like that, I mean, you still have ways to win. We got Darkness. That'd be kind of spooky. Try to keep this, see if we get a Taliyah. Oh, we did. We have turn 2, turn 3, turn 4, turn 5. Into get ruinated? Sounds good to me. If he had like Vile and Pokey and Catalyzer, this could be very bad. I mean, then we could just play this, I guess, but...
Let us take a peek at it.
What is meant for you?
Guess I just dragged that before he like kills this with something.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Kid, be brave.
See, I'm really scared of like him being able to get multiple strikes. I think I might have to play this. He definitely wants to strike, I think.
Never doubt with genius.
And we get this landmark anyways. It's kind of the same as playing Rockhopper. Fuck, this play is so slow. If he has another Catalyzer, it could be very bad. I was thinking about just playing this into Vigar, but like we wouldn't even be able to kill the Vigar. I mean, maybe just having it vulnerable that would be enough to like fuck with him.
We made it. Yay.
Okay, my dude is gone. GG.
Come on, there's so much to see. Really?
This is 5, not very good.
Last chance buys me a new
Distance means so little when
If we get ruinated here, man, it's just the biggest GG. But if I don't like play that though, I don't have Taliyah leveled up. Okay.
Lord Vega, you cannot rush perfection.
watch me.
You do a lot. His attack is pretty lit. Oh, is he like a Pokey or something, or Vile Feast? Yeah, I was worried about Vile Feast. Like, I didn't really want to play another Rock Hopper, burn the landmark, and then like not even. And then like if you have Vile Feast, he counters both. Like Pokey's not as bad, but yeah.
Can't steer.
If I had Absolver here, we just would have won the game. That's kind of nuts.
Would you look at this place?
I feel like he would have ruinated the last turn if he had it. So I don't think I mind that much developing. But I might regret that. I mean, if he ruinates next turn, then we just play Taliyah and open attack, right? And win? I think. Although that is 2 mana. Can you do both? No, you can't. So you actually can't ruinate me anymore. But he still could play another darkness and kill that. That would be the scariest card I think for him to play. I don't think we protect it with that.
For the lightning, my incomprehensible lackey. I want my hat, and I want it now.
Lord Vega, you cannot rush perfection.
I think he doesn't. I think it doesn't. Okay, yeah, if he does this, it's really good for me. I was kind of afraid he would just pass. But now we can just play Taliyah. And I think we're chilling, right?
I told you I would beat you here.
So we have.
I want a rematch.
We have Absolver.
We'll make them pay. Gonna catch the sky.
Throw another rock.
Oh, my dear.
Oh really? Okay, he can't mini morph then, right? Got him. Absolver is so nuts with Taliyah.
Oh dear.
It's actually crazy. Because you basically clear any blocker they're gonna have, and then you just do insane amount of damage. Alright, TF Nami. This deck is quite annoying, because it has like every annoying card in the game. This can kind of is really bad. I mean, it's like okay, like as far as like the combo goes. And I have Absolver. So, I mean, like, if mini morph doesn't exist, we could potentially not just lose the game. But I'm pretty sure mini morph exists. scary thing too is I'm pretty sure when you prank a landmark, it just makes it increase, like, cost more. So if at any point he decides to just like prank this, like it just like messes up my whole thing, right? I wish it was that one. I might be supposed to drag that in case he gets like a group shot or pokey. It doesn't just do like infinite damage to me. Okay, another one of that into Nami is very scary.
Something for the road.
Okay, all of a sudden he's an aggro deck. If he like goes to poke me, I actually have to absolver that just so I don't take like so much damage.
What wondrous discoveries await below?
Well, he just drags it with the freaking Otterpuss. Oh, that's not good.
Oh dear.
How do I kill them all?
Keep your eyes on the horizon and your feet on the
Does
ground.
anyone know? Any knowers?
Beware falling rocks.
Should we just kill this fucking dude? Do do do. We are getting some units next turn. We have a stun in case an elusive gets too big. Maybe we don't die, and then we just OTK his butt cheeks next attack. Okay, that was a great attack for us, I think.
Excuse me.
So I think this card is pretty good because now it makes it so. Oh no. If he steals my stun. Oh my god, I hate this game. This game is so bad. Like, if he trinket trades, he's gonna get another Otterpuss and get another prank. Dude, get away from my stun! Aha, you got terrible choices. Way too soon. So the issue is, like, if I play Malphite, it's really good, right? It's really good. I was kind of thinking of just like absolvering. Like, if I play a landmark, then this Taliyah is really threatening. But now, like, Taliyah's not even leveled up.
Rock Mountain.
But it's still like a 5 overwhelm unit, pretty spooky. Excuse me.
I'm always up for a round or two. Hold it, partner.
How much damage do I have? Because I'm playing another unit. 14 plus 4, 18 plus 23. But if he plays a single unit, we only deal 14. Oh, I forgot he stole my shit. Of course, I'm playing Shellfolk. Like, what am I talking about?
Turn the stones.
So yeah, what the actual play was probably was to play this unraveled earth last turn,
Easy.
and then hopefully he doesn't grab my stun, and then he would have played Shellfolk. 'Cause he played Shellfolk after the attack, right? So we had a time we could have made this vulnerable if we wanted to, and then we drag it with like the 9/6, and if he doesn't have a stun, then this will die, and then he won't get any more value out of it. But now it's like we can't even absolve her now to kill this thing. I forgot he grabbed my right. If I remembered that he grabbed my right, then there's no point going for the stun. We just attack, and then we could actually absolve her to kill the Shellfolk. Okay, he's getting bad picks. We don't actually like die technically to this attack, but we kind of do. Like, I think we have to stun it. Okay, now we just stun that one. Pretty easy. We have no other options though if this doesn't work.
Sometimes the bad hits back.
And it's good that we got rid of our stun too, so he can't steal it. Now we level up Taliyah. And then next turn we won't have a random negation unless he finds more pranks, which he easily could, honestly. Like, I almost wonder if I'm supposed to just take like, what if he gets Trinkets right there? Oh, freaking freak out. Like, there's almost a reason to write a negation there just so he can't stop my rite of negation next turn with my Malphite stun. But I don't even think I necessarily go for it. Like, we have 2 big overwhelm units, and I mean he could mini morph though, right? Like double mini morph even if he banks 3 mana. Yeah.
I'm not in a hurry either.
Oh no, can we just absolve her, right? If he double mini morphs, we just absolve. Oh, we don't have enough to win if he has 15 health still. What the fuck? What the fuck? If he steals my stun, he's annoying. I think we win though now. Now that he tapped under double mini morph, I think that we're fine because one of these will get through and they deal infinite damage, right? And then even if he mini morphs the other one, and then we just absolve her this one. And the only way we lose is if he like nabbed our fucking stun. I mean, do we just open up with stun then though still? I feel like we do. It's probably still better. Also, I should have developed this. I don't know why I'm really banking all the mana for.
I wouldn't want to be in your shoes either.
Yeah, I think that I probably still open up with the stun. It's gotta make the most sense. But don't I just win if I attack right now? Like, what do I lose if I develop this? I don't know. I'll be pretty mad though if I find out. Cause I could have like I still have enough for a double absolver, so I think I'm fine. But like if I just open attack, even if he has mini morph, we have this doing like insane amount of damage. Like this would go up to what, 10 attack? This would have overwhelm, insane attack. I guess he could have stole Hush though, right? That's what I'm afraid of. Like he could steal Hush. And I feel like he could steal Hush, he could steal Stun. And so I'm playing around like him stealing the best cards in my deck, which maybe I'm not supposed to. But I just know if I don't kill him right here, I like lose the game. So I feel like I kind of have to.
Stop running.
And like now he can't really do it, right? Because now he can't Hush and mini morph.
Nice to meet you. I'm Isla.
So isn't this just like really good?
Some rocks just won't sit still. Currents keep me.
I think even if he mini morphs, we're chilling. Because even if he mini morphs this, it still does the 6 damage. And then if he mini morphs that, I think we still have lethal. Yeah, exact lethal, right? So any mini morph still loses in the game. Oh, we beat Shellfolk. I mean, maybe I shouldn't get too cocky. Like, what if he has something? But now we see mini morph. Yeah, we're still chilling. See, mini morph still does these things. It's pretty dumb. And then we can always do like this. And then do like 32 damage this turn. And we can keep going. We have another absolver. Let's go. Oh, I hate Shellfolk. I get so scared, like all the shit they can steal. And he even had pilfered to even nab more, so he was double stealing from my deck. God damn it. What? Someone's not playing Shellfolk? That's crazy. Why do I hear that noise? You guys hear that noise? It's like a bunch of water. What if I ever keep a ground slam just because like I'll eventually need it? That's just not bad either. I think they might just smork us though. I think they have no 1-drop for the first time in the world. Oh my god. It's too late. They don't have a 1-drop. They have this stupid ass card that no one plays. Let's go. We might not lose this game. I got 3 damage in now too because he doesn't even want to block. Then he doesn't have that to attack with next turn.
We can always rely on you to keep us safe.
He is like never gonna miss a Lurk with this Ripper's Bay card though. Like guarantees that you never miss Lurk. I guess if you're like tilting and you hate missing Lurk, then this would technically work. Just like not that great of a card. But it is funny. It is funny. If he doesn't hit Rek'Sai though here though, like we have a good punish now. Well, we already have one, I guess. Ah, he might hit Rek'Sai though because he's putting this. It's funny though because like, wait.
It can be
Yeah.
done.
If it doesn't have Lurk. Oh, he didn't even hit it. This is awesome. He's running Ripper's Bay. We might be able to block that if he wants to, but that's honestly kind of good for us because we can duplicate this instead of duplicating the ancient prep, which we're probably going to do. Like you could also trade this, but like then you take more damage. I mean, does that even make, like this kind of makes sense, but then you're still taking extra damage and this is another fearsome blocker, so it's like not even that good for him, I think. Now you have to burn 1 mana by playing this ancient prep. Dude, look, he's lurking. Ooh. I think we just take Salt Spire maybe actually. maybe slow play it. So we, instead of duplicating this, because that sucks, we just play Salt Spire, then duplicate that, and then his next attack. We already have enough blockers for his attack, I think. Oh yeah, we do. Plus we can ground slam that pike now. Yeah, we're chilling, I think.
I smell panic.
Okay. So it's just something like this. The board is fixed, like it's all neutral. We can copy this Salt Spire. We have another blocker coming from the Ancient Prep. And then Malphite will be leveled up. And then on our next attack we'll have mana to stun the whole board.
There's so much to see.
Unless he has like Jaw,
Distance means so little.
Jawfish, whatever, we're
Bandlewood
chilling.
means so much.
It's honestly like, it seems like he's trolling with this, but he probably just has like one of it in the deck. And like it is a Lurk card itself. Like he probably just put this in instead of that blood bait that everyone's running.
Oh no. Turn the stones. Throw another rock.
Cause like a lot of people are running one of blood bait. And so he could just be like, nah, blood bait kinda sucks, put in Ripper's Bay instead. Just if it's just a one of, it's honestly not like the worst thing in the world, I think. It really makes it so you're almost never gonna miss Lurk. If he has the normal version plus this, it's just really slow. That's the thing, is like you probably don't want to play it on turn 1 when you're attacking on turn 1. Like he probably should have played a one, unless he didn't have a 1-drop, in which case like that's really unfortunate. Oh, that's really unfortunate for him that I got another one of these ground slams. He might just I mean, we just win, right? Oh, okay. So he committed another card, which is good. After we ground slam, it's probably an FF. We got that pretty high, though. It's an interesting version he's running, but I don't think you're allowed to do it on turn 1. It just slows you down too much. Yeah, we had a crazy big board, and again, if we were not really threatened, even like I didn't have to even protect that Taliyah. I could just play Malphite, next turn stun whatever I want, like his whole board, and it's pretty crazy.